Now a give to 10. Take this up near the 35, maybe the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
What to do here in the first half? You've got to take some pressure off. The way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here we go now.
Carry for their fullback, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, you know, we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan. That was being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
Set. 3-19.
Now it's Jackson. He'll take 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On the ground, this is Jackson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That's complete to John Ross. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A big play there for the Bengals. 44 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Let's go. 319. 319.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Alongside the former defensive Garden, it's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
3 down. Hurry up, here we go.
On the run, this is Jackson. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Flushed out right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Gun. Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
On 3rd down. That's Jackson, and he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is. But how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. He's got Green. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They're going to look to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. He's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Looking to throw. Being chased out left. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They'll run it with Jackson. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety? coming up and making the big-time play.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. The give to Taylor. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. To return it is Corey Grant. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
They'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now back to throw. forced out to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. They'll set up to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Got to give credit to both teams. Defenses because they've been able to keep the points down. And despite that incompletion, I like the way he's playing. He's putting up decent numbers. What he has to do, find a way to make that sound read and hit that one home run before this one's over.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll drop to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Back to throw. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies.
And this is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. You and I have seen some great catches throughout our days calling these games. A spectacular grab there, just a receiver making a wonderful play.
When there's a chance to get 6 points on the board, you see a little extra effort sometimes. A terrific layout to go get the football.
point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And the blitz does come. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And they'll go on the ground. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
They run again with Jackson. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Gun!
They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Bengals grab it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He'll look to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20 to 13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now Taylor. And he'll get this one up to the 26. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He'll buy some time right. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals getting set to go. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flush to, and a loose football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
I know you're looking at the scoreboard clock. We're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. A give to the fullback on the dive. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line. Blue line.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. Gave a glimpse of his power that time. And then brought down at the 30. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. He's going to get it running right. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And this one is right through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want.
They've got his man complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7.
Lucky 56.
Now a first throw here in overtime. The open man is Smith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards that time on the first down. Quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Two minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. And they'll run it here. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Gun!
Over the middle, complete. That's Brady. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a first down. This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. And his kick here is good. And they have regained the lead. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about. A long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for the Jags, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.